coming up on the Sci-Fi Channel.
George Reeves murdered? Could be. We'll ask Lois and Jimmy next on Sci-Fi Buzz. On this week's Sci-Fi Buzz, the mysterious death of Superman George Reeves. Mr. Montgomery Scott celebrates a birthday. Buzzing with celebrated sci-fi author Octavia Butler. A best bet for remembering the late Jack Kirby. And the return of Harlan Ellison, shaken but unbowed.
I got this far, the lights went out, pitch dark, I got thrown down the stairs, face first against this.
Hi, Buzzers. Mike Jarek here at Sci-Fi Central, the new Sci-Fi Central. This is now the cortex of Sci-Fi Buzz. Isn't it beautiful? You know, back in the big quake in Los Angeles, our old offices were trashed. So the gracious, fabulous people at the Sci-Fi Channel built this new nerve center so we can now harness everything that's going on in the world of science fiction, fantasy, and horror. Let's take a tour. This area here reserved for the king of Sci-Fi Buzz. That would be me, of course. Over here, the Future Tech Sci-Fi Department. Susan, what you doing?
I'm building a robot.
So happy for you.
Thank you.
Got your medication with you? Mm-hmm. Comic book corner, beautiful. Oh, it's so colorful. Chris, how are you doing? Apparently blocked again. Keep it up. Oh, the fantasy cell with Dave. Let's be safe, okay? Oh, your date last night. Got her locked up, huh? Mm-hmm. And over here, the Chamber of Horrors. Oh, appropriately, Ellison is here. I'll behave. But enough showing off. Now, recently I promised you part 2 in our retrospective called Superman in Hollywood. Well, here is the buzz on the mysterious death of Superman.
No, I don't believe it.
You will, Blinky, you will.
On June 16, 1959, fans of The Adventures of Superman got a shock they'll never forget. George Reeves, the star of the series, was found dead of a gunshot wound to the head. The death was ruled a suicide. But before Reeves had been buried, suspicions were already stirring. Jack Larson and Noel Neal, who played Jimmy Olsen and Lois Lane on the series, are among the many friends of Reeves who wonder if the actor was murdered.
I have believed that he committed suicide, but then there's controversy and about it, and I could believe anything. I don't know.
In Hollywood, Reeves' death is one of the more controversial. What has raised most suspicion is the evidence from the death scene. Reeves was found in a bedroom of his Beverly Hills home with a pistol next to his body.
I saw with my own eyes in the bedroom upstairs where he died, there were 3 bullet holes. Mm-hmm. And that's the main thing that's a controversy in my mind. It only takes 1 bullet.
Adding to suspicion was the fact that Reeves had been in good spirits in the days preceding his death. He was planning to get married that very week, and his career was on an upswing. After a 2-year hiatus, Superman was going back into production for 26 episodes.
George, from what we were told, was going to do a short, not a cheapy movie, but a 2-week movie, during the summer months, which he was looking forward to, and maybe getting married. And then we were to start in September to do 26 more.
Well, all you have to do is just put away part of your allowance or your odd job money and put it in United States savings stamps at school.
The official story was that Reeves had become suicidal because he was typecast as Superman and couldn't get other parts. His co-workers confirmed that typecasting was a serious issue for Reeves.
George was certainly very depressed that he was typed as Superman, and I believe wouldn't have worked. He was trying to direct.
Yeah, he was going to do quite a few of the new ones.
Friends say Reeves was enthusiastic about directing the new episodes and happy to be acting again after a 2-year career slump. So why kill himself? And if he didn't, who did? The most popular theory is that a romantic entanglement had gotten George into trouble. The actor was a ladies' man who, it is said, sometimes overstepped the boundaries of social propriety.
He had martial arts skills. I guess he needed them.
Right. Not for the show.
With his romances.
Yes.
Reeves had had a long-term affair with the wife of a top Hollywood producer, but he had jilted her when he met his fiancée. 2 months before his death, Reeves had gone to the DA to report harassment by an anonymous phone caller whom he believed to be his jilted lover. Some people speculate that she had Reeves murdered. There are, of course, other theories, but it's doubtful we'll ever know for sure what happened to the most beloved and most tragic Superman of all time.
Noel Neill and Jack Larson also found themselves typecast by the Superman series. Noel retired from acting but now works in public relations, while Jack became a writer and movie producer. In fact, he wrote the libretto and narration for the Metropolis Symphony, which you can see on Great Performances on PBS later this year.
This is Jeff Johanningman of Hunt Valley, Maryland. I wanted to recommend a computer game named Master of Orion from Microprose Software. It's a highly addictive strategy game of space conquest, design of spaceships, diplomacy, research, economics, and pretty much everything else you'd want in a great computer game.
Buzzing with Octavia Butler and remembering Jack Kirby when the buzz reconnects.
Sci-Fi Buzz is brought to you by Sega, creators of Genesis, Game Gear, and the coolest video games around. Welcome to the next level.
Has it got huge new zones? Check! Twice as big as Sonic 2? Check! Does it have the 3D special stage? Check! Do it!
New Sonic 3 is now available at a store near you.
You work harder, you get better, right? But working to condition my perm made it flatter. Then I found this. Pert Plus, just right for perms. Now my perm's fuller than with separate shampoos and conditioners, and very soft.
Here comes a whole new taste breakthrough. It's got less fat and better taste for you. It's not a chip on the same old block. That's right. Got new Pringles Right Crisps. That's right. Less fat and better taste than this. That's right. Better taste and less grease. The proof's right here you see. That's right. It's not a chip on the same old block. Right. Pringles Right Crisps. The taste pops here.
You are watching Sci-Fi Buzz on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Science fiction makes us think in different ways. I like to see where the imagination can go and create other worlds. That's fun. Or live in other worlds or be part of that. We don't really know what's out there.
Never fear, Smith is here.
Explore new worlds with the Space Family Robinson and the crew of the Jupiter 2 as they coast through the cosmos.
Warning, warning, alien approaching.
On Lost in Space. Tomorrow at 4, 1 Pacific on the Sci-Fi Channel.
On this week's Buzz Best Bets, Kitchen Sink Press pays tribute to a legendary comic book artist, and MCA Universal sneaks a sleeper sci-fi thriller into video stores. The usually fun-filled world of comic books has been mourning the recent death of Jack Kirby. He was a major force in the industry for over half a century. Often thought of as the king of comics, Kirby was responsible for co-creating enormously popular superheroes like Spider-Man, The Incredible Hulk, and Captain America. In a case of fortunate timing, Kitchen Sink Press recently released a thorough compilation of Kirby's work. The Art of Jack Kirby includes an incisive biography, personal photos, a character checklist, as well as numerous full-color plates and black and white drawings. The book is a wonderful homage to a man who churned out almost 1,400 comic book covers, 600 characters, and 2,600 stories in a long and fruitful career. The Art of Jack Kirby is available in many comic book stores. And if you're looking for a sci-fi video rental to get you through these cold winter nights, the made-for-video adventure Monolith is hitting video shelves March 9th.
Hold on! Oh, what? How do I know? I've never been on a spaceship before!
Though it was made on a humble budget of $8 million, Monolith uses state-of-the-art technology to create an impressive array of effects. The story follows 2 LA cops as they uncover an alien force capable of possessing any human it encounters. The alien's sole objective is the annihilation of planet Earth. Monolith bypassed a theatrical release, but it's a good film for its modest budget. Those are this week's Buzz Best Bets. Octavia Butler is often hailed as the first celebrated black female science fiction writer. Her stories, many of which explore multiracial future societies, have received science fiction's highest honors, from Hugo to Nebula. To spend time with Octavia Butler is to truly understand how a person's past can shape their future.
So what kind of a child were you like?
I'm an only child, and I had no idea how to get along with other children. And also, I was a strange kid who'd learned to stay by herself and make things up.
Do you remember when you first started writing your stories down?
When I was 10, I realized that I knew the name of a character, but I couldn't think who that character was. And I realized I was forgetting my stories. So I began writing them down then. And at that point, my main character was a magic horse who lived on an island of horses where nobody rode them.
Do you get along better with people now?
I can fake it.
I see.
That is literally true. I know how now, and I can do it for periods of time, and then I have to go back home and hide for a while.
Butler's latest novel, Parable of the Sower, focuses on a young woman who uses her wits to survive in a near-future world as it crumbles around her. But the leadership qualities she's bestowed upon her main character are not a reflection of the author herself.
One of the things I like to do with my writing is explore things that are alien to me. And I'm not a leader. I'm a very solitary person.
So 30 years from now, we're going to be in desperate straits.
Well, I think of the 60s as the decade of attempting to come together. 90s is the decade of disintegration, I'm sad to say. And the 2020s is the decade of real, I call it the burn. Food prices have skyrocketed. The sea level is rising. The greenhouse effect is in full swing. This does not mean that it's the end of the world or even the end of the U.S. Things are just a lot worse.
But we are very adaptable as humans.
I don't know how we're going to end up. Well, the odd thing about my books is, even though there is a lot of pessimism and bad feeling, there is always hope at the end. And it's not tacked on. It's something that grows out of the story, even when I don't want it to.
Why do you suppose there aren't more black female science fiction writers?
Probably because there aren't more. People do what they see other people doing.
Oh.
And if you look around and you don't see very many people who look like you doing something, you worry that maybe there's a good reason for that, and you go and do something else. I don't have any sense. I didn't do that. I looked around and saw that there weren't very many people doing what I wanted to do, and it didn't matter. I still wanted to do it.
Does it give you any sense of satisfaction that you can be a role model to other women who want to be science fiction writers?
I don't recall ever having wanted desperately to be a black woman science fiction writer. I wanted to be a writer. And my attitude was, I am a black woman. And if it doesn't come out in the stories, I can't imagine why. It's there. So it's not something I'm focusing on. It's just there. It's part of it's me. Yeah.
Would you say that you're an upbeat person?
Most of my friends and acquaintances would say no. I probably am. The world is so terrible that if you're really downbeat, you would almost want to kill yourself. And I don't.
It's a buzz birthday for James Doohan next.
Size of a Jolly Rancher candy is 3/4 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch square. But the actual taste of a Jolly Rancher candy is immeasurable. Jolly Rancher candy, the great taste of fruit, squared.
Has it got huge new zones? Yeah! Twice as big as Sonic 2? Yeah! Does it have the 3D special stage? Yeah! Do it!
New Sonic 3 is now available at a store near you. You're not a plant, but you're going to bloom. And Secret can help with your life because it's pH balanced for your body's chemistry. So when you face one of these, you won't pull one of these. Strong enough for him, but pH balanced just for you.
Fun, easy, inexpensive, and ingenious.
That's what coaches and experts say about Solo Tennis. Improves all tennis skills. Form, timing, speed, confidence, strength, and endurance.
How does it work?
Just hit the ball and Solo Tennis will return it to you every time.
Who can play?
Anyone of any age. Simple enough for a novice, yet challenging enough for an expert.
Where can you play?
Anywhere. No backboard or tennis court is needed. Solo Tennis is a fun, exciting game you can play anytime. Tennis USTA magazine says,
take full natural strokes and the ball comes back to you every time.
Inside Tennis magazine calls it
simple yet innovative.
Solo Tennis, called the best invention in 20 years by World Tennis magazine, is now available for only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. For fast delivery, just call the toll-free number on your screen. Solo Tennis comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Order yours today.
Happy birthday, dear Scotty. Happy birthday to you. Yes, it's James Doohan's birthday this week. Congratulations, James. That chief engineer, one of the most beloved members of the Enterprise's first crew. He played that part to the hilt, didn't he? We loved it. Irish-Canadian actor James Doohan was offered roles on 2 science fiction TV shows back in the mid-60s. Both shows, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea and Star Trek, had tapped him to play an engineer, but only one called for a character with a Scottish brogue.
Tis a fine foggy night tonight, and I doubt if anyone has ever told you of the marvelous fogs we have in Aberdeen.
Of course, we know how it all turned out. Doohan beamed onto the Star Trek Enterprise as Chief Engineer Montgomery Scott, or Scotty. The actor had absorbed the required accent while stationed in Dunkirk during World War II, and he was happy to put his talented tongue to use.
What was it they said that started the fight? They called the Enterprise a garbage scow.
Sir, I worked hard to get where I got, and here I was typecast, and which is something that never, ever crossed my mind before. Because to me, I did what the character was called for, If it called for an accent or a little, tiny bit of an accent or something, I could do it. Or if he called for even a change in tone of the voice, I can do it,
After Star Trek's run ended in 1969, Doohan was hit with the horrible realization that he'd been pigeonholed. To television viewers everywhere, he would always be good old Mr. Scott, or Scotty.
Times when if I had a chance to read, before that, 75% of the time, if I had a chance to read, I got the job. All of a sudden, nothing. I didn't work in the business for about 6 years. It was grim. And I was very, very unhappy. And a friend of mine, he just told me, he says, Jimmy, he says, you got to get out of this somehow. He says, you're going to be Scotty long after you're dead, so I'd get used to it if I were you.
And that's just what he did. Doohan stopped feeling sorry for himself and transformed his persona from tragically typecast actor into profit-making performer. For instance, he'll slip into the accent, but only if he's paid for his services. He appears at Star Trek conventions all over the world, performs his program Star Trekking with Scotty on college campuses, and has pulled in some nice bucks on the 6 Star Trek feature films.
It's very nice to know that I was going to make a little money out of Star Trek, which, of course, we were paid peanuts in the first place, in the series, so it didn't make any living there.
Doohan recently stepped out of the Trekkie universe to play a cold-hearted father on the soap opera The Bold and the Beautiful. But if he gets the call to do a much-speculated Star Trek VII, Doohan and Mr. Scott will be on the bridge ready, willing, and anxiously able to report for duty.
Oh, come on, I'm a very practical guy, To me, you got to work to make a living.
A new Harlan Ellison commentary next.
Got huge new zones! Check! Twice as big as Sonic 2! Check! Does it have the 3D special stage? Check! Do it!
New Sonic 3 is now available at a store near you.
It still bugs me that I waited to try Old Spice High Endurance just because I thought all deodorants worked the same. Dumb. This proves it's the best. Better than the leading stick. It evaporates less quickly. It also lasts longer. Protects better. You can't ignore that. Or this guarantee. Try it. If you don't think it's the best, call 1-800-PROVE-IT, and they'll buy you a stick of yours. You gotta figure anyone that serious about deodorant deserves a serious shot. Come on, take the High Endurance Challenge from Old Spice. I did.
Come on down. Slip to the left.
Dig the shape of new Frito scoops.
Okay, swing it to the right.
It scoops up dips and holds down drips. You'll dig the taste.
I know what I like Fritos.
New Scoops corn chips.
Let it go!
Bizarre events that capture the imagination. Mysteries from the other dominion on the Sci-Fi Channel. Coming up next.
You are watching Sci-Fi Buzz on the Sci-Fi Channel.
In reality, a Jolly Rancher candy is 3/4 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch square. But the virtual reality of its taste is immeasurable. Jolly Rancher candy, the great taste of fruit, squared.
Has it got huge new zones? Yeah! Twice as big as Sonic 2? Yeah! Does it have the 3D special stage? Yeah! Do it!
New Sonic 3 is now available at a store near you.
The big LA quake not only caused distress at our old Sci-Fi Central, it also was a major blow to our commentator, Harlan Ellison. Literally.
How do you like this? This is a still photo from the new movie, The Invasion of the Panda People. No, not really. What this is, folks, is what I looked like after I got smashed by the earthquake. Yeah, I'm back. Like they said in Poltergeist, he's back. Back again on Sci-Fi Buzz, back again doing the commentaries. But I'm wearing the dark glasses because we had a little problem out here in Los Angeles. A lot of people in the other parts of the country don't seem to understand quite what it was like. 4:31 in the morning on the 21st of January. I was sitting up here in my office on the second floor of the house working when the first temblor hit, the first burst of energy. The temblor came from out there. The fault line runs across the San Fernando Valley from the left. And it came here. It hit in two bursts of energy. When the first one hit, because I'd been through 5 earthquakes before, I was up and moving already. I got as far as over here when the second one hit. And the second one hit big because it didn't have any place else to go. It came across the valley and it had to go somewhere else. And it came straight up through the damn mountain. And it lifted this house and it held it in his hand like a giant and it gargled. It shook that house for 19 seconds. You want to know what 19 seconds is, folks? Sit there and watch the sweep second hand of your clock. Watch it for 19 seconds. I got this far. The lights went out. Pitch dark. I got thrown down the stairs, face first against this. Then it bounced me off that and hit over here. And then after it bounced me here, it picked me up and threw me down this last flight, which I took on the fly, never touched it. Did a flip in the air, landed upside down on my back right here. Missed this by about 1.5 inches, which would have squashed my head like an eggshell. And then as I lay there, this on the wall came down. This was a very large painting, and as you can see from the nails pulling loose, it just ripped loose. This painting had a double wafer of glass. It fell and smashed and broke my nose, blacked both my eyes, gave me a concussion, and blood everywhere. I couldn't see a thing. It was pitch dark. Then, when I lay there, all of a sudden, every book up here in these racks, all of these nonfiction books came down on me, and all of the books on the railing came down. All of those you see on the table here, all of those were up there. Everything fell in on me and knocked me unconscious again. Well, when I came to, I managed to get up, blood all over the place, and in the dark, I dragged myself out of here. That's what it was like at 4:31 in the morning. Where we're sitting now, a month and a half later, used to be my porch. I now have the world's largest collection of glass shards. We figure we lost about 40-50% of everything we owned in the house. I wasn't the only one in the community. Richard Christian Matheson lost his entire house in the fire. people have lost their homes in the mudslides and the earthquake. And the people who helped us are amazing. I mean, guys came from as far away as Eugene, Oregon. Chris Rush, the editor of Magazine of Fantasy and Science Fiction, she came down to help. And Dave Bischoff came down from Oregon. Ed Bryant from Colorado. Terry Dowling and his lady friend Nikki came all the way from Australia. And most impressive of all, after we went after her on this program, Mercedes Lackey, Misty Lackey from Tulsa, Oklahoma, came in, got down on her hands and knees, and washed floors. This is a wonderful community, the science fiction community. These people know each other, and they help each other in times of stress. I'm back. I'm back for 16 more of these wonderful commentaries, and just so it won't be a total waste and me complaining about the earthquake, I want to turn you on to a couple of items, because I've been away for a while. The first is a terrific labor of love done by a guy named Rick Norwood, Manuscript Press. What this is the reprints of all of the beautiful Hal Foster Prince Valiant strips done in full size with gorgeous, gorgeous layouts. It's about $150, but it's a wonderful thing to have. This is the third volume. Here's another thing. This is the best new book I've read in years. You'll love it. Go get it. It's a book called The Woman Between the Worlds by a new writer named F. Gwynplaine McIntyre. It'll knock your socks off. Get it. I haven't enjoyed a book as much as this in years. Otto Penzler of Penzler Books, who used to be Mysterious Press, now he's just Penzler Books, is doing exact replicas of first editions of the great American mysteries. This is the first one, The Maltese Falcon, deckle-edged, the complete book, exactly as it was originally published. And these are only $35 a shot. And if I may, Mindfields, the book I've done with Jacek Jurka, is finally out. And it's available. The publisher is Morpheus. Other than that, it's Harlan Ellison saying to you, when they say, did the earth move for you, be careful what they mean.
This is Brian Primo from Odessa, Texas, and I've just finished reading War Strider and War Strider Rebellion by William Keith Jr. And I'd like to tell y'all that it has deadly shape-shifting aliens, a reluctant hero in a rebellion against the Galactic Empire, and awesome war machines called War Striders, with warriors actually becoming their machines through artificial intelligence and virtual reality. They both make great reading.
Hi, this is Larry from Hesperia. I enjoy reading the Catwoman comic books. They tie in with the Nightfall issue with Batman and the villain Bane. It's a good comic book, and go out and buy one.
On the next Sci-Fi Buzz, Japanese anime, a big-time game where you search for extraterrestrial intelligence, and a new Harlan when we come back to this brand new Sci-Fi Central in 167.5 hours. See you then.
A nuclear accident gives secret agent Sam Casey a secret weapon, invisibility. The problem is it only lasts 15 minutes at a time. Gemini Man, part of the Sci-Fi series collection, tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. Now, stay tuned for Mysteries from Beyond the Other Dominion. Next. Coming up.